Hey, should be good. I think all of my work stuff is done. I think. Or I don't understand why whenever a computer has an update, you do shutdown update, but instead of just shutting down, it boots back up. I really I don't understand. Okay, so I just got off work a little bit ago, made a phone call from a company that's been trying to reach out to me for possibly a job interview. Unfortunately, they keep calling while I'm working. So there's that. It is taking it is taking forever to boot up. Anyway, I'm sure I got a few buddies that probably want me to go play some games with them. Um, but I just wanted to do like another, short stream since it's Friday. Friday. It's Friday. For some reason there's a certain song that is stuck in my mind of, you know, um that one song that was released many years ago, It's Friday or Friday. I do feel so bad for that poor girl. She got bullied for that song, which I don't know why. I don't have a real schedule for these streams, so if you are seeing this like after the fact, I do apologize about that. I'm still trying to get, this whole thing. When it comes to streaming video games, it's just go live, play a game. Yeah, this is way out of my way out of my norm, I guess you could say. And I have been enjoying it. I've been loving doing the research that I've been doing, looking for, everything that's going on. I will still go and continue to do my research when it comes to a Charlie, just because having a perspective when with at least to me anyway, I think having a perspective with someone who, you know, isn't part of any like demographic or anything, just third party view, I guess you could say, definitely does come in. And even there's times where I like will watch my own video and be like, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Or did I really? I could have worded it better. But that, that's everyone. Even during every single time I get better, it's just like no. Like when I made my video this morning, not this morning during my lunch break, I was still coughing quite regularly. But then like literally for like the past 2 hours, it's been I don't get it. I don't get it. But I do have to say, doing this is nice, and I do like it. I'm actually currently looking at maybe the next topic. I might do the Second Amendment next, or I might talk about um what his other viewpoints are, and like for example like LGBTQ. Everyone always brings that up, so I might go look at that one. I mean, when it comes to like a biblical aspect of things, like even me, I have friends that are part of that way of life. I love them, but it's the saying, love the person, hate the sin type of thing. So it's, you know, it's one of those types of things where I have friends in that group and they know where I stand on it and they respect my opinions, and I don't, you know, say anything negative to them. I don't tell them that they're wrong because it's not my place to tell them. So there's a lot of topics that I can cover. I might even continue do another part for um his stance on abortion, because even that's like a, you know, a big no for some reason. I don't know why that topic is so like surrounded by black tape. Like, I understand everyone's point of view on it, but like for me it's just, yeah, I mean, I kind of same based on what I've seen so far. I'm still digging into it, but based on what I'm seeing so far and what Charlie stands on when it comes to that particular subject, I literally cannot disagree with him and how he like words it, and he brings the Bible into it just like he does with other things too. So it's, you know, that is the thing that to me is the most important, is how often he brings it, you know, biblically. And he does it a lot, which is something that me as a Christian, I really appreciate and do love. But it's Friday, guys, so, you know, hey, weekend time. Tomorrow, my wife comes home, finally, so we can see if we can get her to participate and maybe, you know, give her own view, you know, her viewpoints. Get her introduced to our little, you know, corner of YouTube. That would be super awesome. Cannot wait. I am so excited to see my wife tomorrow. Oh, I cannot wait. Her flight lands. Let's see, she has a connecting flight. So it's the second flight, which that lands 9:42 p.m. or 9:40 or somewhere around that time. Anywhere between 9 or 10. I don't know. But yeah, I'm super excited. I cannot wait. Gosh, excuse me. I am so sorry. Yeah, like, no joke. Like, past 2 hours, I haven't coughed or had any issues. Don't understand why it's. Oh, that's an old meme. There are a lot of topics to cover, for sure. Um, but one thing that I do also want to talk about, besides, you know, my opinion on Mr. Charlie Kirk and how much he has impacted the world just alone, is there's other topics that I would also like to talk about as well, like, for example, health insurance, because it is shockingly obvious how many people do not know how it actually works. And that's something that I would also like to talk about, just because I work in the field, and so I would like to get people to, you know more about it. Because I've even had to I had to give like a provider who provides services to people on like how it works, like both Medicare side of insurance and non-Medicare side of the insurance. They both work basically the same. It's just following different guidelines, pretty much. Oh yeah, I keep I keep seeing clips or like headline, or not really headlines, but like videos stating that Charlie Kirk predicted what would happen if he were to, you know, be killed. I need to look into that. Me, me save that for later. Oh, ghost videos. Ghost videos. Cliff. If you guys don't know who Cliff is, I don't know his last name, but he is an older gentleman who debates college campuses about Jesus. He's a really awesome dude to, like, his understanding of the Bible, like, oh my gosh, I wish I had even like 10% of his understanding. My goodness. Anyway, so again, I'm Jonathan, Mr. Irrelevant. The whole purpose of this channel is to obviously the main point so far has been I'm doing research on Charlie Kirk to see, you know, what if there's any merit to any of the oh gosh, my brain is not wanting to provide me the words that I need. All the like the negative things that people are saying about him, like him being racist or him being sexist, homophobe, etc. I'm doing research on that. You figure out, like, is it merited for the hate that he has? And this is coming from a perspective of someone who only seen him like a handful, not even a handful of times throughout the years because I'd never paid attention. I stopped caring about politics when I was younger because it was just, you know, a crap shoot. It was always just, you know, agenda, pushing agenda, so this is what I'm going to do. Oh, I love Dr. Pepper. It is amazing. Okay. And yes, I am drinking water. Don't worry, I'm getting my water in. I'm doing what I can to get over this bronchitis, which I took I'm taking this medicine that you take once every 12 hours. So don't worry, I am trying to fight this, but unfortunately bronchitis does not have a cure. It just, once it activates, you gotta basically just sit there and deal with it. And maybe I'll even cover the whole, you know, deportation thing. Because that's something that I really do care about because of the fact that my wife is Brazilian. So that's something that I definitely do want to pay attention to. Okay. There are still interviews that I do need to see when it comes to him, but like there's so much just because like he's been doing this since he was 18. Oh man. I'm gonna be doing this for a long time for sure. As far as the claims that he is homophobic, Dave Rubin, who is gay and married to a man, was friends with Charlie and says he was not homophobic and offended. Right. Like I saw that clip too. Like he even like did a little debate of someone who said he's a gay conservative, and like Charlie's response was, "You shouldn't like to me. You shouldn't define what you do in the bedroom." I saw that. I saw that debate, and yeah, no, there are so many people who basically refuse to look at the people that actually know him on a personal level. Can't English. And those are things that I'm also paying attention to is what are people saying that actually knew him? What are their opinions on everything about who he is as a person? Like, I kid you not, no joke. When that situation happened, a buddy of mine said, "Can we have a moment of silence for his passing?" And this was in my personal Discord for me playing video games, because I like playing video games on my free time. It's what I do. and someone immediately went to, yeah, he's abusive to his wife. I am sorry, excuse me? What? Like, that was one of the most outlandish claims that I have ever heard from him, because that's the first time I've ever heard that about Charlie, about Charlie. Even in the short time of me doing research, I never heard that once. And it's just like, brother, please. Brother, please. I do also see that there's a lot of, like, big figureheads that are on the left that are getting fired and or banned on certain platforms. One of them, I don't even understand how he didn't get banned off Twitch sooner. Because, oh my gosh. That is one thing I did also notice when it comes to most of this research I've been doing, is I'm seeing, when it comes to people on the left and people on the right, when it comes to, like, the big influencer types, there's quite a few influencers on the left side that are, like, literally screaming you to, like, do very horrible things to people on the right, but then the similar people on the right that are also big influencers are just wanting them to be banned off of, like, streaming platforms just because of the things that they're saying when it comes to, like, murdering people. It's weird. I, like, went down a rabbit hole. I'm still trying to figure out where things are. Oh man. It's like trying to understand how like a clock works when you don't know how clocks work. I mean, it's Friday. My plans for this weekend is, well, first and foremost, rest my voice, and then go pick my wife up from the airport, bring her home, and yeah. So excited. I miss my wife so much. Oh, I cannot wait. My mom knew that I'm doing this, and she's been, part of, kind of like paying attention since the beginning of this channel. My dad didn't know, only because he had a business trip, and my mom has since told him, and he's, like, super excited that I'm doing this. So that's cool. I would, like, a part of me would like to get more people, like, involved in this. Like, whenever I do, like, a live stream, someone even asked me, like, are you gonna do debates? I would like to. Granted, when it comes to me debating, I am just, like, I don't know nothing. Like, if I was if I was in college, I'd be that guy in the back room with the cone hat that says dumb. Because, like, I really don't know anything. But that is why I am doing what I am doing. To study, to learn, to understand what is going on with the world in this event of tragedy. Because I also have been looking at, like, his videos of him with his wife and his kids, and it honestly makes me want to cry every single time I see it. He can never hold his daughter again, and that is just so... It makes me so sad. Like, that's the thing that makes me sad the most, is how his kids won't be able to see him or, like, understand. Like, I remember seeing a video of his wife saying that his daughter was like, "Where's daddy? When is he coming home?" Like that. Oh man, that hurt. But I have also noticed that there are certain people out there in the political world that are taking advantage of this. whole situation. And that to me is a little weird. Both sides are doing it. There's even other countries that are doing it, and it's like, what are you doing? Oh, soldiers returning from home videos. Those are always really heartwarming. Yeah, I have a few things that I do want to continue reviewing when it comes to him. One of them definitely being, the whole abortion aspect, but I think I pretty much covered, at least from what I have seen. He pretty much has the same talking points for the most part from what I have seen, and he has always done, like, based on what I am seeing from those debates, is he is, when it comes to what he says, I definitely agree with when it comes to that. As someone who, would love to be a father, I unfortunately don't think I can be. Granted, I need to still get tested for that to see if I even can. But yeah, someone who would like to be a father, I don't support that. I'm sorry. I just personally cannot. But I am still like watching like how the world is handling this, and the thing that still sticks out the most is how many people are coming to God to learn Jesus, to come to church, and that is just so beautiful to me. Like, to me, that's like the most important thing out of all of this, is that we have a literal second awakening, and it's so beautiful, and I love it. All right, so I do want to cover a little bit on like your health insurance. The commercial plans that you get normally through your employer. Um, Technically speaking, get a commercial plan through yourself if you want to, but I just want to kind of like go over like how it works, because one thing that I can say is, if you do not have insurance, I highly recommend you get it. Reason being, a lot of these bills can be extremely expensive, and yes, a lot of plans do have a thing called a deductible. Pretty much how that works is a deductible basically is that you are responsible for the bill that the insurance processes. Let me explain. Let's say you go see a doctor and the total charge of that visit is $500. Once it once it goes through the insurance and the insurance processes it, it's all based on the contract of the allowed amount between the insurance and the provider. So the provider can charge one thing, but the insurance will say, no, you can't charge that because our contract says otherwise. So that 500 will get turned to like 125, and it does drop down that much. So as soon as you meet that deductible, then that's when the maximum out of pocket starts, and that is where the co-pays come in, the co-insurances come in. Now, not everything has a co-insurance. Some plans have co-insurance with everything. Like, there are quite a few Medicare Advantage plans that do have everything covered in co-insurance. And what a co-insurance is, insurance covers a certain percentage, and then the remainder percentage is the member's responsibility. Now, that might sound extreme, but let me clarify. Most, if not all, insurances that do have a co-insurance coverage, at least when it comes to Medicare side of things, is 80-20, which means insurance covers 80%, the member is responsible for the 20%. That only applies to mostly a select few procedures. For example, Part B, which is similar to Part D, it's drug related. Part B is mostly injections, chemotherapy, stuff like that. So that would be another 80-20 split. There are some Medicare Advantage plans that cover Part B completely. There are also a lot of Medicare Advantage plans that have low maximum out of pockets, to where it's like the first few months of the year they meet their deductible, and then they meet their maximum out of pocket, and then they're done. And then for the remainder of the year, they're covered at 100%. So, my advice to everyone who doesn't have insurance, I highly recommend getting it. And if you don't know what you're looking at in terms of what the plan covers, there are resources out there that will help you understand how each plan works and how the plan covers things. So definitely use those resources to know more. Praise the Lord. Absolutely. Hallelujah. 100%. So insurance is definitely something that I have noticed that a lot of people don't understand or know much about, and so that's why I'm wanting to talk about it. I know I said that at the end of my previous video, if someone would, if you guys would like for me to make a video on it, which I still can, because let's face it, if you see a previous live stream, not very many people actually watch the previous live streams, to be fair. Which I do from time to time, just depends on like who I'm watching, for example. But yeah, it's insurance is very, very important. I know here in the US it's like the medical industry has been heavily monopolized. And I do have my issues with it, but I have also seen what free healthcare looks like, because I lived in a country for a little bit that technically does have it, and even though that it's free, you're still paying for a few services. So I still recommend, if you do have insurance, study it. Read your benefit booklet, because you might have something that your plan has that you don't even know about that's covered. One thing that you also have to understand is, gosh dang it, is you have in-network and out-of-network coverage for most plans. Not every plan has out-of-network coverage. But pretty much what that means is, if you have a plan that does have in-network coverage and out-of-network coverage, it means if you go see a doctor who is out-of-network from your insurance, you still have coverage. It just might not be as good as your in-network coverage, for example. Let's say you have a $50 copay to go see a physical therapist with in-network benefits. And then let's say you go see a doctor that is not in network, but you do have out-of-network coverage. Your copay might be more like $75, for example. These are just, random numbers I'm throwing out there. Doesn't mean that they are what your plan, has, but it's, I've been doing insurance, and I've been doing insurance stuff now for, I first started trying to get people connected with insurance providers for life, home, auto. And then I went from that to confirming mental health benefits. And then now I'm working on claims, actual benefits for Medicare Advantage. And when you do the job, you learn it. You learn it pretty quick. Now, most insurances, I'm actually pretty sure all insurances, have a website that you can access that will have a member portal for you to see how your claims are processed, what your responsibilities will be, etc. Also on the insurance websites are the actual breakdown of benefits, like the big book that you technically should get when you do get new insurance. Read that book. Trust me. If you do it on a web browser, what you can do is if you hit Control F, and I think there's a F key that also opens up like a little search thing. But if you hit Control F, a little search on your web browser will pop up. If you are looking for a specific benefit like physical therapy, just type in physical and therapy or just physical. Then every single time that word pops up on that like 200-page book that you basically have a PDF on your computer with, you can literally go to each time it says it by a click of a button. One thing that I do also want to stress to people is when you do become of age of 65 or you are already qualified for Medicare, I cannot stress you enough. Make sure you get Part D. Reason being, Part D is your medication that you get at CVS. No, a doctor prescribes your medication, you go get it. Make sure you get Part D. I am begging you to get Part D if you do qualify for Medicare or you do reach the age of 65 and do get Medicare. This is something you definitely need to think about. Reason being, for some reason, Medicare has a thing called a late enrollment penalty. And what that is let's say you become 65 but don't have insurance and you don't get a Medicare Advantage plan, but you have regular Medicare. Regular Medicare does not, I repeat, does not have Part D coverage at all. So, if you are looking for a Medicare Advantage plan or a Medicare Supplement plan, make sure the plan that you are looking at, whether you are talking to an insurance agent or you are, what's the word? Whether you're doing the research yourself or talking to an insurance agent yourself who helps you find a plan and will also help you sign up for the plan, make sure it has Part D. I strongly am recommending this and begging you to get Part D because of this late enrollment penalty. Pretty much what happens is a lot of people don't know that Medicare charges people for every month they do not have Part D, and it stacks. So let's say you get a plan that has a monthly premium of like $50 you have to pay each month to have like extra coverage for your Part D. It always goes to Part. It's always Part D. That's what the premium is for. It's always tied to Part D. Mostly. The longer you have no Part D, the higher that charge is going to be. So make sure the moment you turn 65, you qualify for Medicare, you automatically basically get Medicare here in the US at 65. It's like that. If you get an Advantage plan, get Part D. Make sure there's Part D in there because of that late enrollment penalty. And the longer you wait, the more they can charge you each month you do not have Part D. So if you have a $50 premium, you might end up getting like a $55 premium or a $60 premium, or even if you wait long enough, an $80 premium, all because of the fact you did not have Part D. I cannot stress that enough because if you don't have Part D with Medicare, you will get charged that late enrollment penalty. I do not understand why it's there. Most people, especially like in today's day and age, most people who are 65 in the US or and older are already retired. They get a small amount of money each month that they can use for their bills and food and so on with Social Security. So if you don't have Part D, well, you have less money because Social Security doesn't give you a whole lot anyway. So definitely keep that in mind, and I definitely want, if you do have insurance, definitely study it. Insurance is so very important here in the US when it comes to health. And if you don't have insurance, I strongly recommend you do get it. I know that, especially like for me, like I don't have all the money in the world for sure. Most of the stuff that I get, like if you were to see my computer setup, you'd be like, oh my gosh, how much did that cost? Cost a lot. Don't get me wrong. But the way that I paid for it is I did like a monthly payment thing on it, so I didn't kill myself trying to get, what I have. I have a monitor right here that's a vertical monitor. I got that from work. My current main monitor is, not even joking, a 49-inch curved monitor. I am still paying it off. But I got it on a massive discount. So the original price on the big monitor I have was like $1,800. Well, I got it for like $900, but I'm paying a monthly payment for it, so I got lucky. I looked on Amazon at the right time, I guess you could say. But yeah, so insurance. Study your insurance. When it comes to home insurance, oh my gosh, get home insurance. Even though if you think it is completely pointless and a waste of money, the house I was living in when I was younger in Pennsylvania caught on fire. And my mom literally told me I was thinking about canceling the home insurance because it's kind of just wasting money. Well, our house caught on fire. And if she canceled the home insurance, then, well, we wouldn't have had a home. So home insurance is also very, very important. This is, of course, for homeowners. If you're renting, like I am, renter's insurance will be very, very helpful. And most places that, from what I am aware, most places that you do rent from, you have to have renter's insurance. Like the apartment complex that I'm renting from requires you to have some kind of renter's insurance. I had a friend that I used to work with when I worked at Valvoline. Don't know what Valvoline is? It's like a Valvoline instant oil change. So I changed oil in cars. I worked on the diffs, tire rotations, bunch of stuff. You can even look up what people do at Valvoline. It was a fun job, but oh my gosh, it was hot. The maintenance crew of the apartment complex that he worked at continuously was stealing his PlayStation 4. But since he had renter's insurance, it was covered. As far as I'm aware, shortly after that, he did move. He was able to successfully break his lease because of the fact that kept happening. But yeah, it was not good. But yeah, main point: health insurance. Study it. I cannot stress enough how important health insurance is. I work in the industry, so please believe me. I don't have. I would use my insurance plan as like an example, but I don't have a book on mine. If I remember correct, where's my wallet? If I remember correctly, I think mine is a Blue Cross Blue Shield of Anthem, which I don't even want to get started with them. Yep, Anthem. Also, if you do get insurance through your employer, get everything, vision, dental, everything. Trust me. I need glasses. I have yet to use my vision benefits. Let me see. Go ahead and take a look. Is it just Blue Cross or is it Blue Cross and Blue Shield? I think it's just Blue Cross. Yeah, I think it's just Blue Cross. Let me see. One thing I can say is ever since I got this overly sized monitor, I can't go back. I really can't. It's so good. Let me see. Not Medicare. Medicare industry is changing a lot. Also, if you are a caretaker, make sure. Oh, let me also mention this when it comes to Medicare. If you are a caretaker or helping someone with their Medicare insurance, or actually this applies to just regular insurance, period, there is a thing called HIPAA. It's HIPAA. These are federal laws and regulations that everyone has to follow. And I mean everyone. I have to follow it. You have to follow it. The doctor's office has to follow it. Everyone has to follow it. And pretty much what HIPAA does, as like a gist of it, is HIPAA prevents like me, the agent, on giving information to people who cannot verify who they are. So let's say, for example, I were to call your insurance plan to confirm your information, but I can't confirm who I am. Of when it comes to a provider, they have to verify 3 things. When it comes to a member, you have to verify a whole lot more. So keep in mind that as a provider and a member, there are certain things, a checklist, I guess you could say, that you have to follow. So when it comes to your information, know that it is secure on the medical side. But do know that sometimes information does leak. It does happen. It's the 21st century. It happens to everyone. Like I do know that early in the year of this year, there were a large amount of scam callers calling in trying to like change passwords to members' portals or change emails. Well, we stopped literally all of them because they can HIPAA verify who they are. So know that your personal information is safe when it comes to the medical side of things. And yes, if someone were to get your information that way, they could do a lot of damage. So if you are a caretaker of someone who, or just anyone in general, know that when it comes to HIPAA, even if you're married, that does not matter. Even if you are a husband calling in for your wife, or vice versa, a child calling in for their parent, a parent calling in for their child. Now, I'll get to the parent-child one in a bit, but that's going to be for older children, like me, for example. But hold off on that one. But for a spouse, a child, a sibling calling in for their significant other, relative, etc., the person who is the name that's on the plan, like for me, if my wife wanted to discuss a claim or change information on my account with my insurance, I would have to verify who I am. So I have to go through the whole step process of HIPAA verifying myself and then let the agent on the phone know that I give my wife permission to speak on my behalf. So it's verify who you are first, which consists of like your member ID, name, date of birth, etc., plus more, and then give them permission to speak on your behalf. Now, with that being said, when you do that, that's only good for that one conversation. That one, not for the rest of the time that they have the insurance. So what you want to do at that point is most insurances have a form on their website that is a authorized representative form, I guess you could say. What you do is you fill that information out, you submit it to the insurance, and then the insurance can put that person on the account to be able to speak on that person's behalf for as long as that form is valid. Now, when it comes to Medicare, if the person that you are caretaking over passes away, that form no longer becomes valid. I don't know why that is. It's just a thing. It's no longer becomes valid. So at that point, what you want to do is you want to submit power of attorney. Death certificate can work as long as your your name is on the death certificate. That will work. You have to submit that to insurance in order to be able to speak on the account. I remember speaking to a member who was living in Mexico, whose mom passed away, and he was living in a very rural part of Mexico. And he said, so I have to drive 9 hours just to submit this document to speak on my mother's behalf. Unfortunately, yes, we by law are not allowed. Not only so let me explain what will happen if you fail HIPAA. whether you are just a regular person or me, an agent, or a provider. What will happen is you will face a fine, if I remember correctly, up to $500,000. That's just getting started. If you continue, like, if it is grievous enough, not only will you have to pay a fine of up to $500,000, you will face jail time on the federal level. So, you definitely want to study your insurance, know how it works, and when it comes to being a caretaker, you have to be put on the account or speak on their behalf. Now, what I mean by being put on the account is just basically filling out, like I said, filling out a document, submitting it. There you go. But yeah, I really cannot stress it enough. Even though that insurance can be expensive in terms of having it, it is worth it. I have it, my wife has it, and I will never not have it. I have enough life experience to know better. Especially when it comes to home owner insurance. Oh my gosh. But then again, I don't have the ability to buy a home. Also utilize your member portal. Also utilize the resources that are on your insurance's website, because you could easily find in-network doctors. They have search tools for that. When it comes to getting an authorization for a service that needs an authorization, that's the provider's job, not your job. If you do receive a bill that you don't agree with, you can contact your insurance and dispute it. Have them look over the claim, see if the bill that you got is accurate. Also know that some providers will try to charge you more than they should. I've seen that so many times doing this. And there are certain providers in a certain state that I don't understand how people can live in that state because of how bad these providers can be. Some of these providers can be so lazy, don't even bother calling the insurance to figure out why a claim is being denied or the processing on the claim. They just immediately bill the member because they don't want to do their job. It happens all the time, and I can't stand it. I get so upset. I get so upset when I have a member calling me who is just like, I got this bill. I'm like, are you kidding me? The provider is that lazy. I am so sorry. And then I call the provider for the member because it's not the member's job to be doing all this homework. That's something that I live by when it comes to my job. I even tell members, it's like, I don't want to give you homework, so let me take care of it. And that's literally what we're supposed to do anyway as an insurance agent. We are not supposed to be giving our members homework. But yeah, it's Friday, guys. So I think what I'm gonna do for the rest of the today is I might just take the rest of the day off. No research. Just relax, rest my voice, because obviously, I mean, you guys watch my videos, so you know that I'm constantly doing stuff. When it comes to my job, I'm always on the phone. So I answer calls all the time. I think I'm actually going to do that for this weekend too. Maybe. Because this is the first weekend that I have had since creating this channel. So this is the first weekend where I'll actually be able to sit down and really go hard on, what I do on this channel. And of course, if there's other topics that you guys want me to see, oh yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. Max, you have no idea how excited I am to see my wife. I haven't seen her all week. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I'm so excited. And I can't wait for you guys to meet her. That's one of the things I'm super excited about. I even told her that you guys want to meet her, and she's like, okay. Oh, I'm so excited. And I can't wait. Yeah, I've been texting her here and there throughout the week. Like I didn't want to be like too like her business. Like she's visiting her mom, her sister, her nieces. So, but yeah, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. But yeah, so like tomorrow is when she lands, but she lands like late in the afternoon, so I might take tomorrow to do like some hardcore research. Like I mean really go down the rabbit hole because I'll have like 12 hours. But I do want to kind of catch up on some of my shows that I've been neglecting to watch. I do also want to look at like there's a lot of comments that made a lot of good points along with like other people that I should look at in terms of like what they're saying. So I'm definitely gonna do that. Like oh what's her name? Owens? Owens. I think that's her name, Owens. Her last name anyway. Owens. I do also want to continue to look at how like the world is reacting to this. Like there's a few politicians that I do want to talk about when it comes to this tragedy. Like no matter how you see it, to me this is tragic because yes, Candace Owens. Yeah, thank you. And the reason why I find this to be tragic is just because at the end of the day, whether you think he was a horrible person or not, whether you think he was promoting violence or not, he he himself literally did nothing besides just sit down and talk. And another thing that also makes this the most tragic is literally his kids. His wife and kids. Like that's where that's where I'm at. Like I said in my last video, like I want to be a father. I would love to be a father, but I don't know if I can due to an injury. And I still need to go get that tested, so I don't know. Now with that also being said, my wife doesn't want to have kids, so her and I've already talked about it, and she continuously says, hey, go find someone who wants to have kids. I'm like, I don't think you realize how this works. You are the one, like, period. The whole like romance thing of when she's the one, that's real. I witnessed it. I knew she was the one. Like that. And as soon as I was like, I'm marrying this woman. Straight up, like I'm marrying her. And I've heard many stories like that too. It's just I am marrying this woman. I don't care what I have to do. Well, of course I care. I'm not gonna do horrible things. Oh my god. But like I literally traveled across the whole world to marry her. And oh boy, I would happily do it again. But yeah, so I'm gonna take the rest of the day and relax. Max, thank you so much for hopping in and hanging out. Thank you to 762. Praise the Lord, absolutely. So I want to end this short stream with a prayer if you guys would like to participate. Because that is one thing that Charlie emphasized the most, and that is get closer to Jesus, worship and prayer. So far, that has been so profound on how many people are now understanding and wanting to get closer to Jesus. And that is amazing. People still try to use our biblical everything against us, but we all know that that's just that's a farce. They can't. It's one of those things. Anyway, so go ahead and get ready. So Heavenly Father, thank you so much for giving me the ability and the strength to do these streams, do these videos. Thank you for giving me the courage to put my voice out there, and thank you so much for, having people watch. I want you to continue to give the people who do watch my videos the courage and the strength to find your light, to see how wonderful you are. And I please bless them with relief just from everything, the world, the stress, environment. Give them peace. Now, I do know that you have a plan for every single one of us, including me. And we don't know what that plan is. We have no idea how you work, and we will never understand. But thank you for guiding us on the path that you have chosen for us. And I hope that you continue to show us how wonderful you are, how merciful you are. Again, thank you so much for sending your son down to die on the cross for all of our sins. In Jesus' holy name, amen. Alrighty, guys. So again, thank you. I am going to hop off and relax for a little bit. Probably going to play some video games with some friends of mine. Haven't done that in like a week. But yeah, thank you. Love you all. Appreciate you. Have a fantastic day and a great weekend.